Hey guys, it's Chris from Smithy Finance, and it's day 2 of our ongoing crash series. It's April 4th, and man, it's another ugly day. Now, I said yesterday that I was concerned that this was a real game changer, and sure enough, we're still selling off. Now, I have changed a little bit. I have started to do some buying. Let me just go over the numbers right now. The Dow is down 1750. The S&P is down 5%, 270 points. The Nasdaq is down 845 points, another 5%. So it is brutal out there for sure. Oil is down at 61.70. So that's dropped $10 in 2 days. Of course, we've had the Saudis or OPEC is increasing production right at the same time as we're going into recession. And I mean, this was what happened in COVID. So 5 years ago, when OPEC and Russia had a war, as far as the oil price goes, and OPEC opened up the taps, we ultimately went to negative prices, if you remember. So right during COVID, when everything shut down, they increased production. So it's crazy time. I can't believe any of this is going to stick, but who knows? We've got gold down $80. We got silver down another 220. Copper down 10%. I mean, these are massive, massive, massive moves, and not to be trifled with. However, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just an absolute champion. It's incredible to see how it is holding up, and it's actually up $1,200. We're at 83,200. I think at the close yesterday we were around 81,800 or something. So amazing move on the crypto side of it. So I have been active, and I actually sold a little bit of my IBIT and my MicroStrategy or Strategy MSTR. Not much. I own a lot, and so I've sold I don't know, maybe 1/15 of my holding and put it into some of these crashing stocks. So look, all we do is we make our best guesses here, and I could be 100% wrong. It could easily be the right move to sell everything else and go into Bitcoin. But I am taking what I'm actually doing is playing the odds. So I've got something that's up in an incredibly red day. So I'm selling a little bit of it, and I'm going into those red names, not heavy. I bought a little bit of Delta Airlines, but I bought 50 shares. So I own a few hundred Delta going into this. I've added 50, actually I added 2 series of 50, 50 here and another 50 here, but it just keeps going lower. So I'm adding small. I sold a relatively decent amount of the Bitcoin to be able to fund these things, and I've only put a small amount to work. I've got bids underneath. I did buy some IVN, my Ivanhoe, which has been just demolished. It was 16, 7 trading days ago, and now it's 10 and a half. The Aya, it's 880 after being, things are getting killed. The Baytex, so BTE, so one of the oil stocks, I've been buying that. It's down 18%. And these moves are full on crash. So I'm trying to take advantage of it, but I could easily be early and they could easily go down. It's a Friday. What happens over the weekend? Let's talk about the tariffs again. So there's a lot of talk, obviously, on Twitter, on X about this. The general consensus is that Trump is nuts and he's gone just crazy, angry, crazy, and it's an absolute reset. And I tend to agree with that. However, I don't think that he's a moron. I think there's a method to his madness. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here that there will be negotiations and some changes that may happen as early as this weekend. China slapped a 34% or a reciprocal increase to their tariffs. But Vietnam apparently is talking to Trump, and they had a quote, very good talk. You've got to believe that there are going to be further negotiations over the weekend, and we may see, who knows, we might have a positive headline on Monday morning and all these things gap up. I don't know. Okay. So this, like I said, this has been the busiest 2 or 3 hours that I've had in the market since those COVID days, which were brutal. And here we are. It's a rolling crash, and I don't know what's going to happen Monday. I have a lot of buying power because I did lighten up on the IBIT and the MSTR, but I don't know what to tell you. You've just, it's been my experience that buying these horrible days when the negativity, the disgust, the anger is so high, the average commentator is just full on freaking out. So I need to be on the other side of that. I might be early, easily could be early. We could go down another 5,000 points on the Dow. No problem if there isn't some sort of adult-like behavior in making a deal instead of this full-on anger or inability or unwillingness to see the other side. So it's a real shakeup. Maybe it's for the best in the long term. That's certainly what Trump, and I just saw Scott Bessent, Tucker Carlson's just interviewed him. I've only seen the first 10 minutes of it or so, and they're talking about this being a short-term pain for long-term gain, and that the market isn't seeing through it yet, and it's all going to be good. We did have the 10-year bond is now at 390 or 395. Let me get a quote on that. 397. And we had Powell come out and say he's not going to lower rates yet because these tariffs are inflationary, and he wants to see what happens. So that was a negative. The market had actually been rallying a little bit going into that. When I say rallying, it had been down 1,400. It went down. It rallied to down 1,000 on the Vietnam call, and then when we had Powell come out and say no interest rate cuts, then the market just went into the crapper again. So I mean, he's going to change that. He's always slow to react. So I think there will be a rate cut coming pretty soon, which would be positive. Okay, so this is where you make it, guys. Right now, right here, right now. In my opinion, there are moves to be made. We don't want to sell into a total dump. But I've said that before. I said that during 08, 09, and there were probably 7 crashes in 6 weeks. I mean, that was the worst I've ever seen, and I bought every one of them, and so the pain got greater and greater and greater before the turn finally came. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. It's kind of exhausting. I made a mistake yesterday. I thought the Masters was on. It's actually next week, so hopefully we'll actually get a little calmness, and we'll get back to something of a normal trading environment. Anyway, there it is. Have a good weekend, and I will see you in the next one.